On the way back from Louisiana, they stopped there to get gas. They were trying to leave without paying for the gas. Mr. Myers, who owned the gas station, was like 70 years old.
Oh,
When we put up on the scene, the young man I ended up taking his life, had Mr. Myers on the ground.
Almost like a Mickey McNamara. What we just saw.
Exactly.
An older man.
And was beating him pretty bad. I went over there and got him off of him, and I had him pretty much contained on the ground. He couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do much with him,
right.
But he couldn't go anywhere. And he kept trying to get my gun out of my,
Right.
What happened was the guy that was with him ran over there and knocked me off of him.
Yeah, it's easy to do too.
Oh yeah, I was blindsided.
Right.
And I didn't see this other guy. So when I got up, they were both standing over top of me. I mean, it was obvious what they were about to do to me.
Right.
So I drew my weapon. I backed up, so they couldn't get my weapon.
Right.
Okay. And then I got him what we thought was calmed down. I lowered my weapon, and then the kid that I was fighting with, the other officer, Journey, he came over there, and the kid I shot got involved physically with Officer Journey. I'm dealing with the big guy that had knocked me off that kid. This kid grabs Officer Journey from behind, and Officer Journey is trying to shake him free. When he does, his gun comes out and slides across the pavement.
Ooh.
The kid runs over and picks up that .357 Magnum and comes at me with it.
Wow. Yeah, you got no choice.
And I told him three.
Yeah.
I remember twice. The other witnesses to the grand jury said that I told him 3 times to put it down or else.
Right.
Doesn't matter. He was a little bad guy, been a little bad guy all of his life, but it still hurts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I mean, what's sad in those cases is that it's for gas.
This is in no way, shape, or form anything like Robert Arnold's situation.
Yeah.
Robert Arnold.
Well, yeah, I understand
he did not
that.
No, I mean, it's the same thing. The taking of a life.
Right.
But Robert Arnold did not have to make a split-second decision here.
Right.
The bad decisions Robert Arnold made are the ones that I'm concerned with.
Yeah, and what's bad
It
is
led
that
to the killing of James Whitehead.
And we talked about Mickey McNamara too, and all these that have happened. Yours was over a tank of gas. McNamara's over $100,
Right.
give or take. Whitehead's is over,
whatever.
just an argument.
Right.
Just it really started. No matter who's right, who's wrong,
Right.
just over words being said.
Whitehead was wrong for arguing.
Yeah. I mean,
he was wrong for his language. He was wrong for calling Robert Arnold what he did. He was wrong.
But no matter anything, it all started just because of
Gabriel,
arguing.
how many reasonable and prudent people, in particular, an 11-year police officer who was a captain at the Orange Police Department, would even think about leaving their daughter in the store with an irate, obviously upset white man who is calling you all these things, and he walks out the store and leaves his daughter in it with it? That doesn't make any sense.
And last thing, I heard that if how are you going to bring this to Attorney General? That is, if
I'm going to drive up there and take it to
No,
the
what I mean is if they don't reopen the case. I mean, is it that small? I mean, if they don't reopen the case, you're going to take it to the state?
Well, you have to look in this manner. You use the term reopening the case, and that's kind of a layman's term because there's no statute of limitations on murder in the state of Texas. So as far as I'm concerned, and the grand jury is, remember, the grand jury is only there to determine if probable cause to exist to take this matter to trial. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt like a trial.
Right.
And so as far as it's always open. It'll always be open until a jury hears it. As far as I'm concerned, until a jury weighs
There's no double jeopardy.
That's
whatsoever.
why we have juries.
Right.
We have juries.
Right.
And you probably read Sam Kitchell's extensive report. I mean, just think about all the things. How many people in this county have not read that report? Don't know exactly, precisely what we're dealing with here.
Well, they can at least go.
But they won't.
I mean, self-promoting.
They won't.
But they can at least go online on our site and read the suspension letter. At least the suspension letter that details why he was suspended, because that kind of.
That's the letter I'm talking about.
Excuse me, y'all. They kind of at least that details kind of conflicts what you would think a grand jury would do in your eyes.
I've lost some friends over this. I've lost some law enforcement friends over this, because they say that James Whitehead was a piece of trash, and he got what he deserved. I disagree.
Right.
I totally disagree. He acted inappropriately. No two ways about it. But he did nothing unlawful that I can find that warrants Robert Arnold taking his life. and I cannot find anything in Texas law that says Robert Arnold was justified in taking James Whitehead's life when all he was trying to do. Even Ray Hebert, the manager of O'Reilly, said, as far as he was concerned, it was over. Whitehead was out of the store and he was leaving. He wasn't even going to file a simple Class C on him. It was over, said and done. All the man wanted to do was leave, and Robert Arnold didn't have the professionalism to let him leave.
Right. I said last time on the last one, but
no, you keep going.
The simple question is, it's not simple. You all know the exact number, but how many times when you were a police officer did you run into name calling? You know, I mean, police officers, y'all got to get pig, bacon. We all know, you know, go to the donut shop. I mean, that's what it sounds like first started here, and of course it got racial, and we'll never know what it's like to be an African American man get called that name. You know, I'll never know how that feels. But how often did you get called names and griped at and cursed at as a police officer? Is it daily? I mean, weekly?
It's constant. You know, I mean, these guys here, and I'm behind my law enforcement 100%.
Right.
I mean, I don't want anybody to think that I'm not. I'm behind them 100%. It's constant. I mean, they get it all the time. You heard some of the other testimony at the arbitration hearing, and let's not forget. I mean, people want to make a racial thing out of this, and in fact, it could be racial from one side. It's not from my side. Like I said, I don't care what color Robert Arnold is. I don't care what color James Whitehead is. I got involved in this because Whitehead's a veteran, and I'm a veteran. And then I got, the day after this happened, people asked me what I thought. I said, I can tell you two things that I feel pretty confident right now. Number one, Robert Arnold did not handle this well as a professional police officer. And number two, James Whitehead never should have died.
Right.
We have to go back to the history of Orange and race problems. How long ago was it that groups of blacks were throwing bottles at police cars and putting police officers constantly in fear? How many times do we have to call every agency? You're probably aware of what I'm talking about. That came to an end. So you know, they can't say it's one-sided deal here.
Right.
You know, the racial tensions to me are a lot better because some business I went into yesterday, the business people I talked to said that they want to see this done. They want to see a complete and accurate investigation presented to the grand jury, and they're being told by blacks and whites that this needs to be done, not just whites and not just blacks.
Yeah, you just want to see it, no matter what an outcome is.
Don't want to rush the judgment. Like,
yeah,
I hate to use Sam Kitchell's words, but that was really some of my words too. It was a rushed. They're going to defend it that it took months to complete this investigation. Then, if it took months to complete it, then why do we have the lead investigator making these statements so soon in the investigation? And as far as I've been able to ascertain, I don't know precisely. As far as I've been able to ascertain, Ken Parks is the only one who testified for the grand jury. I don't know that for a fact, though.
Okay.
I do know he testified. I mean, I'm reasonably sure he testified. Whether he's the only one, I don't know. But I do know that Randy Edwards didn't testify. I know that no one from O'Reilly's testified. I know that the both sergeants, the Rushings, didn't testify. I know that Robert Arnold did not testify, and I find that a little.
And they were all on scene.
I feel maybe it's commonplace in other places, but I can't believe that the officer involved in taking of a life as a police officer did not testify before the grand jury and give his defense. But there's a side of that off the record.